an area, in a city smaller than ours, in the entire Disneyland is a fraction of ours today. We have 23 more major events than they have, and theirs are outdated. They built it in 1955. We're in 1985, 30 years later, with the most innovative and creative rides. It'll bring people from all over the world. Anaheim is only one area of North America. Or is Orlando one area of North America? It's only a destination point for people to come to see one of man's creations.
Okay.
Well, this, again, is 20 years ahead of it. Can you imagine what will happen in this city when this happens? The government sees it, the federal towards tourism, the provincial feels it, and hopefully they see it, and a good city council voted for it. Well, I tell you, I can't thank them enough.
Well, let's take a commercial break and find out why City Council is dragging its heels, and let's find out how you feel about it. We'll be back.
Pebble Beach.
You're going to show us that a little later on, though. I made a promise.
Mean, that came out great. Oh, super.
Some of the toys have to wait because we want to get down to some of the issues. Now, I spent hours last night drawing up questions, about 4 to be exact, and I'm going to leave these questions aside because I know that you want to talk to, and hopefully some of my questions will come up.
I'll come back tomorrow.
As our viewers. You said you kind of like this, huh?
Yeah.
So you'll be back.
We can do this once a week.
Okay.
At West Edmonton Mall Show.
Live from West Ed, from the submarine.
Just stall the question.
Go ahead.
Why do you think Mayor Decor is so against 555 receiving this grant when this is an incredible thing for the city, when not only the city is going to benefit, when the whole province? It seems to me like it's like a personal vendetta with the mayor. Can you answer that?
Is there a personal vendetta, or is this purely business?
It's not business. You know, he has never voted for any one of our projects. If he likes it, he just won't vote. If he's against it, he'll vote against it, or whatever he does. He's completely alienated himself from us. He's just like walked away.
You don't exist.
We don't exist.
Because,
being the largest developer in this city, we'll be doing this year, or in the last 3 years, we have done over $1 billion worth of construction. I mean, can you know how many developers in North America entrenched in one marketplace do that much work? I mean, there isn't a mayor who wouldn't come to us and beg us to come, or if it's a Drapo or if it's a Harcourt, who wouldn't do anything for us to come to their city.
Why hasn't 555 left for greener pastures? Are you in too deep here to pull up roots now?
No, and believe me, I have nothing against the mayor. He has some reason, and you will see in future how he will get involved in this. I don't know when we do other projects, but you must monitor this. And I would like you all your people in Edmonton, to monitor the mayor's activity towards 555 in all their endeavors.
Can I just ask one more question?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Make a statement. I voted for Mayor Decor in '83 because I wanted a change, but now he's really turning me off. I'm unemployed right now, and I look at this thing where I could possibly get a job. When I take my children over to Fantasyland now, I can what he was just mentioning, how it's going to change, how it's going to be like another Disneyland, that's only what people dream of. But when I go to the Fantasyland now on a cold Sunday and see my children enjoy themselves, it's just an incredible thing for something like Northern Alberta, where these people took a big risk and stepped out and developed something where no one else would. And we have a mayor to support this project. This is unbelievable.
Wonderful. My friend, let me tell you something.
They're turning against it.
Anaheim brought in $410 million. That's without bringing in 30 million visitors. That is only $410 million from tourists, conventions, without bringing one person. They had an additional 30 million tourists that passed through Anaheim last year. 30 million, and 410 million of that was strictly unrelated, meaning that strictly conventions. Can you imagine when this is completed how the mayor doesn't really appreciate this? Because he has a commitment to his convention center. His convention center the spin-offs will keep that convention center going. Can you imagine if you go out and sell, and Edmonton Tourism now is out selling our project to every tourist convention they can come to.
Do you have a commitment strictly to West Edmonton, or do you have a commitment to Edmonton in general? And let me preface this by saying, I seem to recall when you were applying for rezoning for for Phase 2, you had thrown in to sweeten the pot a promise for Eaton Place in downtown Edmonton. Where have plans for that fallen?
Eaton's Place is not dead. We have hundreds of millions of dollars worth of land lying there.
What are you going to do with it?
Right now, well, there's a good point, which will also have to come back eventually to city. Eaton's have asked us for unreal concessions in a tough economy. department stores ask for concessions from developers. Concessions that a developer sometimes can't live with because it won't be marketable. It won't pay the debt service. If you put all that money in, and they're asking whatever concessions are not, we won't go into that. So these concessions, again, we have to, and we came back to Eaton and says, we'd like you to reconsider the concessions you're asking for, and we'll do the Eaton Center. But again, we're still there's still a controversy there, and we're still in negotiation.
Okay. Thanks so much for your call, sir. We're going to move along and talk to some more people. I appreciate your call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Would you like to talk to Mr. Stahl?
I have two questions for Mr. Stahl. One, could he please tell me what he thinks West Edmonton Mall and Fantasyland can do for the rest of the tourist industry in Edmonton?
I just related that before. We feel it will employ thousands and thousands of people without even West Edmonton Mall, which will in fact employ 15,000 people. But related to tourism, I said that Anaheim's tourism department now encompasses 57,000 people that actually work related to Disney World. Our component is larger than Disney World, and probably if they only employ 57, what if we employ 57,000 new jobs? Just we don't know what impact this will make on the market. We know it'll bring millions and millions. We anticipate 8 to 10 million people. Well, what if it brings 20 million people? Our hotels, we'll have to start building hotels and places where people will have to stay at strangers' homes because they'll want to come. The city will be Boomtown, USA. I mean, you don't know the impact when you...
Is that realistic?
Realistic is 8 million, 10 million. Well, what if it's 20 million? What if people start? Word of mouth is like a match on a dry forest. I mean, overnight you can be inundated with people.
What's your second question?
I'd like to know if 555 is planning on building another West Edmonton Mall or Fantasyland in Canada. And if they are, can Canada support tourism?
No. 555, you can never replace West Edmonton Mall. You can never repeat anything. It's a one-time, it's a happening. It happened in phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. You just can't go out and build something. This was done with heart and with soul and with feeling. This will never be replaced. If 555 wants to build another shopping center, it will, with a little component of recreation, a little merry-go-round and something that will be cutesy and unique. But this can never be repeated again.
Thank you very much for your call, ma'am. Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Would you like to ask Rubin Stahl a question?
Yes, I had a concern about the taxes, and I've been watching the show, and he explained that very well. I was concerned that my neighbors and I were going to be paying for this.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to know, on the other hand, whether there have been any other developers in Edmonton who've received this kind of concession or have asked for it.
Well, that's a very good point. And if any developer who is considering putting $360 million worth of work into Edmonton, I think that he should go before City Council and get some concessions, and this will really bring construction back into our streets and our city. Because there's no question, with the unemployment we have here, I feel that you must help developers today get on with it. And developers want to put millions of dollars in, let them go to the City Council, and I'm sure they'll help them.
The Gramasians are excellent lobbyists, and the worry seems to be, and it has been expressed through a number of media reports, that what 555 wants, 555 gets, and it seems to get preferential treatment. Would you comment?
But first of all, it's what we put into it, we get out of it. We've already put hundreds of millions. We've already put over $300 million worth of work into this complex. So we've already paid our dues.
Okay, ma'am?
Okay, sure.
Thank you for your call. We have to take a commercial break. However, when we come back, we'll take more of your calls. Our guest this morning is Rubin Stahl. We're talking about West Edmonton Mall. You pointed your finger. You'd like to bring up a point?
I brought up a point, and when this woman asked me about tax concessions and other concessions to developers, didn't the McDonald Hotel just get a concession from City Hall? Rightfully so, and they're redoing the hotel and making it into a beautiful, beautiful place that it should be, that has been there for so many years. Concessions again by the city, and they have supported them. Fantastic, otherwise it wouldn't have happened. Why not us? Why not other projects, and why not other people?
Would you like to see this go to a public vote, and if so, what do you think public opinion overwhelmingly would be? Or would it be pretty split?
No, the people want it. Why wouldn't they want this in their city? I mean, why wouldn't they want 57,000 new jobs created, plus another 15,000 just for our mall? Why wouldn't they want all these things? I mean, are they masochistic? Well, don't they think that the city deserves it? We have the best hockey team, we have the best football teams, we have the best of everything, and the most beautiful city in the world. Why shouldn't we have this type of component in our city that can bring millions and millions, and they can enjoy within their boundaries?
What if you don't receive the tax concessions from the city?
Don't and won't is not in our vocabulary.
We know that.
Will receive. We will receive. They will support us. Government will support us. The city will support us. And the federal government will support us.
What if the answer was no?
There is not no. Do you know what we are committing over $10 million right now in preparing our foundations and our walls to take this fantasy land? Already investing $10 million of our own money without knowing if we'll get the money or not. But we are so optimistic. We are so optimistic, we know that we will get it.
Are you not in too deep, though, that you can't pull out now? It's begun. It's going to be done by September, whether you get the concessions or not.
If we don't get it, the city as a whole will suffer. The province will suffer. Canada will suffer. It can't be stopped now. It's bigger than all of us. It's bigger than Garmasians. It's bigger than Stall. It's bigger than Edmonton. It's bigger than... It's Canada at large today.
Let's take some more calls. Hello, good morning.
Yes, I would like to know if the stores that are coming into Phase 3 of West Edmonton Mall are stores that are not already in Edmonton.
I'm glad you asked that question. There's going to be one area called Europa.
Oh, yes.
Which is going to be pretty exciting.
I'm just trying to remember with all this controversy now. I'm just trying to remember what I have.
You've got to get back onto track.
Well, you know, we have, yes, getting back to stores. That is a very important part of our business. It does pay the mortgages and does pay the different banks that are involved with us. We have new stores like Woodward's and Woodward Supermarket. We have the largest Canadian Tire ever built, will be built in our mall with 32 service bays. 3 times the size of its existing facility right now in Centennial Mall are moving up to our mall. We have IKEA Furniture, which is 120,000 feet, the largest of its kind in the world. 3 times the size of its existing store. Abercrombie & Fitch, the most incredible fashion and sports-oriented store in the world. There are only maybe a dozen in the world. Furs by Lorraine, the most incredible and most beautiful fur store in the world. Heritage House, one of the greatest shops from Europe. Goodman Manteau, a unique store with just coats and suits for ladies.
Tell us about Europa.
Europa is a turn-of-the-century architecture. Do we have a picture of it? Can I show it to the people? It's just beautiful. Turn-of-the-century architecture, 19th century, of a typical Parisian street.
Complete with an Eiffel Tower.
Complete with an Eiffel Tower, with stores and shops of just... Let's see, we have the picture here, which is just... Why don't we put it over here and we'll take a shot into it close.
And valet parking.
And valet parking right at the Eiffel Tower. Oh, here we come up. What a cameraman. Isn't he fantastic? I think I'll take him home with me. And this is the turn-of-the-century architecture, as you see. And all the stores, let's say this is a Cartier. In fact, we have a Cartier store. This is Cartier store and Cartier's building. How it will be built. The entire thing is domed. You have 30-odd shops here. You have Cartier, and you have Gucci, and you have Courrèges, and you have the finest European shops. 30 walking through. You have Café de France with an elegant cafe of 8,500 feet that will feed right out into the center court with our fountains. The Eiffel Tower right back here with 2 banks of elevators going right up into it. The shops and the area itself here will be a draw in its own right. It's a theme mall that you would have like in Yorkville in Toronto. Only this
Bourbon Street.
Bourbon Street. Oh, we must see Bourbon Street. Bourbon Street is something that the world is talking about today. 15 different nightclubs that will house the most incredible Al Hertz Club from New Orleans. This is an exact... Here we go. This is Bourbon Street. Again, turn-of-the-century architecture. You could swear you were in New Orleans right now. And with all audio animatronic just happening with the...
Tell us what animatronic is.
Animatronic
I can't say it for one thing.
Animatronic are robots, actually, that move. Like this horse here is animatronic. He will move, he will rear and neigh. The music, you see, all this band here is Dixieland bands that will be playing all day long, but different songs, and they're all audio animatronic. Like in here we have the the girls of the night that are put into a paddy wagon, you know, and again they're all audio, and even the police are animatronic. This is very, very unique in a concept that the sky is acrylic and changes from night to day with fireworks, and stars come out and the sun comes up during the day. It's just the most incredible concept in the world.
One other question that I had was, you have started with high fashion stores in your Park Lane area, and a lot of us in Edmonton, because we're so far north or for whatever reason, have had to go to other centers to get European fashions. Will you be, in these European stores, will you be featuring fashions that we could could not get in Edmonton?
I just described that, yes, and you will have stores like Courrèges, Gucci, Cartier, DeMarco, plus another 27 other designer boutiques.
Can you afford to buy those goodies, ma'am?
But
well, working on it.
they will be for the tourists, and they will, because tourists love these shops,
Yes.
and they'll be for, they're really affordable, you know.
Okay, thanks very much for your call. Affordable, a $3,000 dress, Rubin?
That's affordable if you're worth $100 million.
Hello, good morning.
Hi.
Hi there.
I'd like to ask Mr. Stoll about the large influx of tourists that are being predicted to visit Fantasyland. How is this going to affect the current traffic patterns, and will it harm the roadways that are now there, or are they going to have to rebuild?
And another question to add to your list, sir. How do the residents of West Edmonton feel now about West Edmonton Mall being the big elephant in their backyard?
This big elephant has just increased their property by about 15% to 20%. By the time this big elephant gets bigger, it will increase their property value to 30%, like Anaheim's. We checked with Anaheim, and the property started at $500,000 there and go up to millions of dollars. You imagine all these, just having a visitor come to you and say, well, our Fantasyland is just across the street, the world's largest entertainment component, you know, and it has nothing to do because you have a fence around your house and you have your shrubbery, and it would have not traffic. Yes. Traffic patterns will have to looked at by the city. Hopefully, again, the city will work with us to alleviate this problem. We will work closely with them because, and again, we don't know what will be. The only time we will see these things are when they actually happen. To anticipate, yes, we are anticipating how to get in and out, the access and egress out of our mall, but this will have to be dealt with at the time, and hopefully we are using planners to deal with it at an $8 million influx, an 8 million people influx. But if it goes to 30 million or 40 million people, we'll deal with it at the time.
Any further questions, sir?
Yes, I'd like to know how many parking stalls are being provided for these guests of Fantasyland.
Right now, 30,000 cars, which is exactly maybe 10,000 more than Disney World.
And that's what's currently in existence, or that's what you're planning to put in?
That's what will be finished. When we'll be finished, we'll have 30,000 parking stalls.
And where will they be located?
On our lot, and we have overrun parking will be located across the street for another anticipated 15,000 cars.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your call. Some excellent questions. We'll take a break, and we'll be back right after this to wrap up. Rubin gets, he wanted some time to talk about Pebble Beach, about a golf course that's going to be offered in Fantasyland. And Rubin, this doesn't look so spectacular until you start to tell us about it.
Oh, it is spectacular. This is 2.5 acres of golf course, all with real grass. Hole number 1 is a driving hole. You putt. You can actually come with your entire family and putt down to here. If you putt a little too much, you're in the ocean. If you putt in here, you're in. So you must play it as a par 4. 1, 2 on the green, in the sand trap, or into the water. These cliffs go down 30 feet. This is an exact replica of Pebble Beach in the Monterey Peninsula, hole by hole. 18 of the most beautiful holes in the world, all related with their entire greenery and trees and the most outstanding. This is probably our greatest component in the entire shopping center. People will come from hundreds and thousands of miles just to play this golf course because anyone can play it. You don't have to be an expert. Now, with this here, through the entire place, you have audio animatronics again in characters of this nature right here. If we can take a shot of him.
We're going to in just a moment. Now, this is one of the characters that you were trying to describe earlier.
Yeah, can we take a long shot of him showing his entire body? Now, these golfers will be put through, as you're walking through and you step a certain part of the grass, you'll hear 4, you'll hear this here actually moves and swiftly, he actually hits the ball. throughout the entire complex. Instead of little those windmills and stuff that you see on these little miniature golf courses, this is a real golf course and giving you the exact feeling of being part of a golfing experience. Now look at this man. Isn't he outstanding?
So he's going to move?
He's going to move. He's going to talk. I mean, that in itself is a show.
Is Fantasyland currently, phase 1 of Fantasyland, is it making money?
Yes, it's making money.
Will it be highly profitable? Of course it will then for Fantasyland 2.
Naturally, you know.
Will there be a nonprofit company, a corporation, foundation that runs Fantasyland?
We propose that. Well, Fantasyland today, as it stands, makes money and makes good money. Otherwise, we wouldn't continue on with another edition. Because our edition started small, you know, and then we started to grow, and we felt the tourist impact. We said that if we're really going to make an impact in the world, let's do it world class and let's be larger than Disney World. So in fact, this is our theme today. So knowing that it makes money and will make money in the future, and it will make money as when we finish, that when we couldn't get our so-called interest-free loans and all these things that we started, because we need the assistance to build this thing. We need government assistance. And when they said they would like it to be turned over to charity and non-profit foundation, on that basis they would give us the money. We sat down with our board of directors. He says, fine, if that's the way it'll happen, it's a two-edged sword, meaning the two-edged sword will be great for West Edmonton Mall retailers who will benefit for it in the long run, and the city of Edmonton, the province of Alberta, and the country of Canada will all benefit from this project.
Now, let's take a look at the roller coaster, which is one of your prides and joy.
Don't even. I mean, are you ready? I mean,
We're
are you
ready.
ready for this? This is incredible. Let me point.
It looks a little messy to me, Rubin.
Look, well, this is only a model. This is a working. Actually, this is a working model. We're building from this. Look at the size of this roller coaster car, or the roller coaster itself. Look at the size and the people in here, just to show you the height and the magnitude. Look at these four loop-de-loops. I mean, look, and these are other components that work, and these are rides that are involved with it. I mean, these are one of the most incredible rides in the world that go up and down and sideways. This here is a pavilion, a space pavilion in here. And this space pavilion, the roller coaster, while you're walking through it, goes right through it. Shoots right through this thing. Can you imagine going through and all of a sudden, because it's a light show, and from nowhere, this roller coaster comes right through. I mean, it is the most incredible experience in the world.
Is your house like this?
No, my house.
Your poor wife.
That's right. My washing machine is like that.
Okay, let's take a few more calls. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Mr. Stahl?
Yes.
I have 3 points to bring up with you. First of all, I voted for Mayor Decor in the last election, and I'm very glad I did. And secondly, why the devil should you people get these $20 million tax concessions when other businesses can't? I can't get no tax concessions. And another thing, about your West Edmonton Mall, I can't see it serves any purpose whatsoever. Because for the simple reason, you've got to go through a route march to get to the gentleman or lady's parlor. And how come all these merchants that are renting from you are growing broke because of your exorbitant rates?
Okay. 3
Number
points.
1, our merchants are not growing broke. They average $454 a square foot in sales, which is double the national average. If merchants go broke, the people that you've seen go broke are national chains that go broke down east. And the aftermath is felt here in Edmonton. So that's your first question about merchants going broke. And there is a waiting list of 300 people. We're building 400 stores, and the 400 additional stores are all housed by national chains. So therefore, they are not going broke. And when you consider a mall of 817 stores, they wouldn't be rented, and we're all 100% leased. So that's one part of the question.
Okay.
The other part of the question is, why should you and why should other people not get? I answered that earlier.
Yeah.
I said the McDonough Hotel just got a tax concession, and rightfully so. And if you were to put $350 million worth of work in this city, I personally would go out and lobby for you to get $20 million tax concessions, because they are not giving us the money unless we put our money up first. So therefore, our money is coming up first with $350 million. Then they are not giving us $20 million cash. They're only giving it to us as we have to pay it. They say, okay, you have an abatement this year. You have an abatement the second year. You have an abatement the third year and the fourth year. So that answers that question. And the third question was?
Voting for Lawrence Decor.
Voting for Lawrence Decor. You did a fantastic job because Lawrence is a fantastic human being and a very astute lawyer and a great politician. And I think Lawrence, will learn, like all of us learn, and how to get along with people, and we all will get along with each other, and we'll build this super, super complex in your city, which you will enjoy.
Okay, you got my heart pounding for you. Let's take another call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Rubin. Can you tell me, please, why are the government grants so important?
The government grants are important because the cost of this complex as a whole would not pay the debt service. It wouldn't make enough because what we're putting into it could not repay what volume it can do in cash flow. So therefore, it could do it for a little. It can do it for a little fantasy land, but it couldn't do it for a larger than Disney World complex. So therefore, we're asking the government to help us with these concessions. We are also putting in millions of dollars, like to the tune of over $25 million, and together, each partner and the beneficiary, the end result, the beneficiary will be the charitable organizations that will get the profits in the long run.
Do you have any idea as to how much money that might be?
I don't know right now. We're just doing our studies.
Okay.
Can I ask him one more, please?
Sure, dear.
How will West Edmonton Mall's expansion aid the rest of Alberta and Canada?
I just said 57,000 people work in Anaheim. We hope to employ that plus more. We are putting almost $1 billion worth of construction into our industry. The spin-offs are too numerous to mention. It would take me a week and a half to tell you how we all would benefit through this.
We will take a break. We'll be back.
All finished.
Great! Who wants gum?
I do!
Me too, please.
Give your family good-tasting Trident sugarless gum. Recommended for families who don't want to chew sugar when they chew gum. Trident has all the flavor but no sugar, so there's no risk of sugar damage to your family's teeth. So set a good example with Trident sugarless gum. It has all the flavor but no sugar. Trident for families who don't want to chew sugar when they chew gum.
Puppies will eat anything, but anything isn't what they need. Your puppy needs the extra nutrition he can get from a special food like Purina Puppy Chow. Only Puppy Chow has a special milk product coating and ounce for ounce more protein than the leading big dog foods, plus extra vitamins and minerals to help little puppies grow into big puppies. Puppy Chow for a full year till he's full grown.
Now in new beef flavor, too. Did you know that you can now buy these two brands of tea in Canada, Tetley and PG Tips? Both have perforated tea bags to let the flavor flow through better, and both brands hail from England, where, goodness knows, they appreciate tea. But which do you think is England's best-selling brand? Not this one, this one. Full flavor PG Tips. Hardly surprising. PG Tips, England's best-selling tea, now blended in Canada.
There's no place like Leon's.
Leon's 85 Comes Alive is even more exciting now, Alberta. If you buy now, you'll pay no interest on appliances and furniture for 1 year. Choose from our large selection of top-quality name-brand appliances and pay no interest for 1 year. Check every department for huge savings on furniture for every room. Shop and save now during 85 Comes Alive at Leon's.
There's no place like Leon's.
Shop and save today.
There's some people for him, there's some people against him, but there certainly is no one quite like him. If you would like to express your opinions towards the expansion of West Edmonton Mall and the proposals that Mr. Rubin Stahl has outlined for us today, Rubin, how do they go about doing that?
I want to leave you with one thought. Let the silent majority speak up. Call your MLAs, call your city councilors, call your government officials, call your MPs. Call and let your voice be heard if you really want it.
For or again, make sure that your voice is heard. But thanks very much for being with us.
Let the silent majority finally speak up and say something.
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow at 11. Phase 3 is due to open tomorrow, and to tell us about it, we have with us the Executive Vice President of 555. I'd like to welcome back once again Rubin Stahl. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you, Lorraine. How have you been?
I've been well, and I'm absolutely shocked that you can sit here and be so calm today, given the fact that Phase 3 is going to be opening.
Well, having gone through it 2 times, and the 3rd time becomes a lot easier. It's like giving birth. You finally get used to just relax and let it all happen. So, in fact, we're giving birth to our last component in Edmonton.